Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Stafford Tigers Musical Mania. This is scene two, episode two, but I like to put my own spin on things. So today, what we're going to be talking about is 80s love. That's what I named the episode. But actually, what we're talking about and we're discussing is we're breaking down all different trends, looks, styles, and sounds of the 1980s music and pop culture. Now, this is one of my favorite decades of music because I feel like the 80s really did a lot for music, especially now because we're still seeing trends show up now. And actually behind me, we have three special people who helped shape the 80s. There's Janet, there's Prince, and then there's Madonna. Oh, and then over here you can't really see him but this is my Michael Jackson doll. I bought this for. I paid a lot of money for this. I don't remember how much I paid for it, but it was a lot of money because this is the old fashioned doll from the 80s. This came out in the 80s, and someone was selling it on eBay for a decent price, but it was still expensive in my book for me. So, yeah, this right here is a collectible. This is what he wore to the 1984 Grammys when he won the most Grammys ever. No one's ever did that since then. Yet soon somebody may come along that at least matches his record. But yeah, this man also shaped it. This man and this woman right here. The lighting was my window. Yeah. But yeah, this Jan and this Michael. So the 80s was, I think, a very pivotal time in music because I feel like with the advancement of fashion, technology, and just trends, it actually, I don't know, it the way it transitioned and transcended over time, it poured into the 90s, the mid 2000s, and then I think that we saw a resurgence about, what year is this, 2024? I would say about a good 10, 15 years ago, because I remember I was talking to my mom because my mom was a teenager in the 80s. So I always ask her about, like, what was music like, what was fashion like back then. And I always tell her, I used to say to her, I said, I really hate I missed out on that time because, you know, I really just wanted to live and see what it was like. Like, I wish that I could just do like a time travel and go back and then see. Hold on one second, y'all. I wish that I could go back in time travel and actually be there when when this record came out right here. Whoa, oh man, I think it's funny. I don't give it. I thought it was funny. Anyway, her and also I have. Where are you at, brother? Um, there he is. This right here belonged to my aunt, my late aunt. May she rest in peace. This was actually hers. She bought this record when it first was released, and now I have it, and I'm gonna have this forever and ever. So this is actually I forgot how she got it. I think she went to the record store. I'm not really sure, but yeah. But actually, this one is my favorite one. This is my favorite one, 87. I wish that I had been there to like see this drop and see like that first music video because I think that Bad was actually one of his best short films. And it was long, it was drawn out, it had like, you know, so that's kind of what that is. But I love it so much, the 80s so much. I have a lot of music from the 80s. I'm not going to show it out to you on this episode, on this scene, because we're going to get to that in the future. But I have that one. But then when this came out right here, it's on my wall, y'all. Hold on, bear with me. Um, I bought this for the anniversary when it came out again, 40 years later. So people were like, I'm not buying that. I like the original. And I mean, I respect that. But since I'm such a collector and I'm such a diehard music person, which is what this whole channel is about, yeah, I bought it. So that was that. Let me put this back on my wall. Hold on one second. Damn. Hopefully that doesn't fall. Yeah, it's looking kind of. Well, I'll take it as good luck if it falls. I don't know. But the 80s was a really really, really amazing time. And actually, this I purposely wore this shirt and this particular head bandana for this episode because it reminds me of the 80s. The little, you see all the, yeah, little print. So yeah, there is one artist though that I always think about what it would have been like had she came out in the 80s. She's very, 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 very successful. She's one of the most successful females in the industry today. But I can only imagine if she launched back in the 80s what that would be like. And that is nothing but the one and only. I'm sorry if that was loud. I didn't mean to do that. That is the one and only Lady Gaga. Something about her just really screams like I arrived after my time. Oh, there she is right there. Hey, I arrived after my time, but I'm a come along in this time period, in this dimension, and blow people away. And that's exactly what she did. And although this particular video isn't necessarily about her yet, I have something else planned for her very special down the line. But I just wanted to say that it hit me because many years ago I was on Twitter and I was looking and she said she made a tweet and she was like why can I have been an artist back in the 70s and in the 80s and stuff before she was born and all of that. And I said, you know what, I said I think she's on to something because I really think that she would have really she set trends now, but she would have definitely really set trends back then just like she did now, if not 10 times over. But it was that, and then I remember it was a bio that she put one time on Twitter, and I'll never forget it because that was I think this was around the release of Art Pop, so this was a long time ago. She put what did she say? Dang, she put you guys I'm after my time. I teleported to this time to give music and stuff to the world, but really I'm from this dimension or from this time. But she was just being like comical. Basically, what she was saying was that was a decade that she was heavily inspired by, which is what we're talking about now. Now, one thing I really want to get to for the 80s, I just thought I'd throw it in because I love her so much. And she'll know that one day. Hopefully she sees this, or hopefully I can just tell her. But she's my favorite female in the entire industry. I got a favorite male and a favorite female, and she's my favorite female. Anywho, let's stay on topic. Y'all stay with me. Tiger, stay focused now, okay, brother? All right. So the 80s was an amazing time because it also was the release of one of my favorite TV stations, which I'll still watch to this day. Yes. I was like, are you kidding me? I actually wrote a song. I haven't recorded the song yet, but I just wrote the lyrics. But 1981 was, I believe, the release of the MTV. And I remember people talking about it because what I love about MTV to this day, what I love is that it was a place where people can really put vision to the sound. It was a station for it was a station where you could really, really strictly for music. They played everything, and they still do now. Like I watch MTV Live, and it's actually on my TV right now. Actually, Megan Thee Stallion is playing right now. But um, yeah, I watch MTV every day, and it's really a place where your videos and your short films can be played and actually tell a story. Because the thing with me is, I'm more visual. I am an artist, but I'm not. I don't have like a big voice, but I'm more visual. I love film. I love short films. I love production. I love costumes. I love dialogue, and that's really who I am. So that's why I watch MTV even still now. But it was a place where people could showcase their ideas and bring the visual to life. So that's something that I really love about the 80s because I don't know. It just seemed like for me, it just seemed like a reset because it's like you had the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, then the 80s come, and it's like a totally different wave just came along. And anyone that was around back then, I think, was lucky to be a teenager. Amazing time. And another thing I love is there was no social media. There was no social media, so people were more connected, and it was a time where kids were like, even when I was a kid, it was still like that because when I was a young kid, there was no social media yet. But I remember like going to school and we would talk about stuff we saw on BET because BET also came out in the 80s as well. So I remember like when I was growing up, we would watch 106 in Park and I would watch MTV and we would go to school and we would talk about our favorite like music videos. We would talk about the newest videos. Um, I remember when I was in the fifth grade, they said it was career day, so come as what you would be. And I came as a singer and I went all out. I had a microphone and everything, y'all. Let me tell you something. I was sitting at my desk in class and I literally had the microphone on the desk, like where the little pencil thing is. I had the microphone sitting there and then I had the pencil next to my work, like whatever I was working on. But I really, really wanted to do this and I still do. And that's something I'm still fighting for now. But um, stay focused. I don't mean to be all over the place, but such an amazing time. And I even got this sign right here. I saw this on it was an online store. It's like an independent store. So I bought it because it reminded me of and it actually lights up. Hold on one second, I'll show you. All right. Oh, there we go. See y'all see that? It's kind of blurry, but it's different colors. Yeah. So yeah, that was a good time. Amazing time. And I think the one thing that stands out for me with MTV is I think Michael Jackson was the first artist of color to transform MTV because I remember I was talking to my dad one time a while back and he was talking about we was discussing music and we were talking about MTV and he was like, yeah, it was cool and all. It's just that it was hard for, people of color to get on the station and stuff. And I said, yeah, but I said Michael Jackson broke through that barrier with Billie Jean. And I think that's part I personally believe the song is great, but I personally believe that was such a great time. And that's what brought Billie Jean to oop, sorry, Michael. That's what helped bring, Billie Jean even more, made it even bigger, in my opinion, was the fact that they fought and fought and fought to get it on a TV station. Only thing I wonder though with Billie Jean is when we dress up as Billie Jean, it's always as the Motown when he did Motown 25 that year. Then no one ever dresses up like him from the video with the suit with the bow tie. Like that's actually one of my favorite outfits he's wore, but nobody's ever like redid or recreated that. That was dressed like with the jacket and stuff, which I get because that was actually one of his like biggest performances, or something we'll remember forever and ever and ever. But it was him, it was Madonna, it was Janet Jackson. We one thing, and we're gonna get to this later, but we don't talk about Janet Jackson enough the in what she's done for the culture. I'm still waiting on her Funko Pop. Funko Pop company, please, please, I'm making a plea to you. I really would love a Janet Jackson Funko Pop. A lot of us would, please. But she's also made a staple because first we had Control, then we had the Pleasure Principle, which many female artists recreated over the years. And then we had when she did Rhythm Nation. I never seen anything like that before. I wasn't born back then, but I'm saying like until that time, before the time that video was released, I had never saw anything like that, and that really, really, really was very inspiring to me because I don't know, it was something about the um the dancing and the choreography, and then what she did was just I saw the whole short film, and then I remember the end when she was looking at the little boy, the young kid, the young black child on the screen, and she looked at him and she smiled and she shook his hand, and that I don't know, that was amazing seeing that. And if you're a music person, if you first of all, if you're not a music person like that, then it probably would have touched you. You probably were just entertained by it, and that's it. But us who are diehard music people that are fans of certain people, we actually I felt that because it's like I felt it. I was entertained, but I was also transformed by it, and it made me believe I can do like whatever I want, anything you want to do. Like she really, that was groundbreaking, and I'm glad that people still remember that project today because that's actually one of her biggest projects. But I remember that. I remember seeing that for the first time as a child myself, as a young black kid, and that really, really, I don't know, that touched me in a way that I can't even describe. Just that whole video, and then the ending, then the unisex costumes. It was the first time I saw where a man and a woman can wear the same outfit. Then a man can make it look masculine, the woman could put a feminized spin on it. But then they all have on the same military outfit. I thought that was cool too, because I was like, they all got on the same thing, but then they all got their own the way that they move with the moves and stuff. I was like, hey, don't fall out now. Stay on me. Wait, I did this myself, so I'm just trying to. But I thought that was cool. And Prince, Michael Jackson, Janet Jackson, and Madonna and George Michael were my favorite people of the 80s. Also, Prince, his biggest project, which is on my wall right here, Purple Rain. And actually, I think my mother bought me. I'm trying to remember, y'all. I got so much stuff. Like, this is not even half of it. I got behind the camera along this wall here is you'll be scared to see it. Okay. Even if you are a music person, you still be scared to see it. So I bought this right here myself, and I can't remember where I got this from. I, for the life of me, can't remember it. Dang. So I have this, and then I also now this one I bought from a record store. Where are you at? I bought this is actually the single. This is not the album. This is the single right here that I got, and I bought this from. And I also have a TikTok about my Prince collection. You should go check that out. As of now, I think I bought more stuff since that TikTok, but I don't remember. But this one right here, one thing I didn't even notice at first. Oh, I got this from Barnes and Nobles. That's where I got this from. It's actually purple. Y'all see that? I know, right? Amazing. Epic. Yeah. So, yeah, I got this from Barnes and Nobles, and I paid, since it's a single, it wasn't that much, but it was, pretty penny. Yeah, I got that from Barnes and Nobles, and yeah, Prince was someone that I really, really loved because for some reason I loved the fact that he played 27 instruments. That's a God given talent, and it made I was kicking myself in the rear end like over and over again because I actually took piano when I was a kid. I took piano in sixth, seventh grade, and I took it in school in sixth and seventh grade. No. Let me back up. I took piano seventh and eighth grade in school, and I took choir, and I also took professional piano lessons. And I didn't take it seriously because it just when I first started, it's like it was hard for me to read the music. So I was like, it looks like I'm looking at Korean writing. I'm sorry. I don't like what is this? I don't know how to do this. But what was weird is I could write a song, but I couldn't read music. And at the time, to be honest with myself, I didn't want to because it was too hard. And I was like, I don't want to do this. And so, but I regret it because I actually could have been a really good piano player right now. And I could have been composing my own stuff like this man right here was doing. And, but I really admired him for playing so many instruments, but I also admired him because I loved his style. He was unapologetically himself, even back then, the way he dressed. It's like he didn't care what people had to say. And that was inspirational to me. So that's why, like, there are a lot of different artists in my era, like the '90s, the late '90s, the mid 2000s, but they don't touch me like the artists from the '80s do. They're something else, and they're one of a kind. So, I'll get more into that later on. In the future, what I'm going to be doing is talking about different artists one on one. I'm going to be describing what I love about these artists and showing, my collection and things like that. Things I have because I have so much stuff over here. Like I start sweating even looking at it. I'm sweating right now looking at it. But I'm going to get more into that. But I just want to break down and let you all know I love the '80s. But don't we all? Okay, we all love the '80s, don't we? Whether you were born before, during, or after, we all love the '80s. So that's all I have. You guys, don't you forget to go out into the world and don't be a moment. Be like the '80s. Be a lifetime. Don't be a moment. Thank you so much. Much love. And I will see you guys again. And that concludes scene two of Stafford Tigers Musical Mania. Okay.